Greetings, everyone. This is Stirrin It Up with Chef Bee live. We're here at Eat Fresh, and I am here with one of my dear old friends. We've been knowing each other for a minute. Tamara Akua Hunter.
Okay, we've been knowing each other so long that you don't know how to pronounce my name. Tamara, girl.
Girl, that's the New York.
Oh, all right. Tamara Akua Hunter. Hi, y'all.
There you go. I be messing up people's names, so I call her Queen now. Today we are talking about postpartum depression, and we're also going to be talking about plant-based foods and different essential oils that mamas can use while they're sort of transitioning, through mamahood, new mamahood, or just returning mamahood. And it's a real big issue. And so this is one of Akua's areas of interest, and it's a passion of hers. And we definitely want to come on today and just talk a little bit about what that actually means. All right, so tell them a little bit about you. Tell them how you got into this work. Tell them about your background. And yeah, so we can go there. We can start there.
Okay. So I have about 10, 11 years clinical experience as a dance therapist. I'm working here in Georgia as an associate professional counselor. So I was always into mental health, right, and worked in the field. However, it wasn't until I had my daughter that I experienced postpartum depression, anxiety, and I was able to recognize it, not strictly from being a clinician, it was because family members had it, and I witnessed their journey through it. So I was grateful to have seen that, but some women don't know about it. It's not discussed a lot. Practitioners, now are starting to do better as far as giving mothers screenings when they come back for their 6-week checkup and ask them about it. However, but it's just something that we're not educating our mothers on enough. So this is my mission. It's something I'm passionate about it. And going through it, I didn't have the support that I needed. And so I just made it my mission to support other mothers and just talk about the resources that are out there and encourage moms to take care of themselves.
So as we actually, last night we were sweating, right? Fall equinox sweat was off the chain. We just got to say that. That was off the chain.
Awesome.
If you missed it, too bad for you. But there's another one coming up. But while we were on our way home, we were talking about the show, and you actually told me the difference. So I want you to define for our viewers postpartum depression, and then we talked about baby blues.
Right.
So there's a difference, and I didn't know that.
Right.
So tell them about that.
Baby blues happens for maybe 70 to 80% of new moms. You have your weeping, you're crying, your hormones are trying to balance themselves. You might have a little bit of bouts of anger, maybe at your spouse, maybe at the baby, just at life period. It's a transition. However, baby blues usually, depending on the person, maybe a week, 2 weeks. If it's lasting, with slight bouts of depression too, right? Because your hormones are balancing. But if it's lasting a month, 2 months, then it's time to start recognizing this is not baby blues anymore, that this is going into depression. And depression can last from 1 month to 1 year. It may not start on the onset of your new birth. It might happen in the 3rd month, the 4th month, the 5th month. So you may not recognize that that's what it is because it's happening later. It doesn't always happen with every child. You might have 2, 3, 4, 5 children. Maybe it happened with the 4th, but it didn't happen with the 1st, right?
I didn't realize that. So this is like sort of, there's a duration.
Yes.
With postpartum depression as opposed to the baby blues. It's sort of this short-term transition.
Right.
Okay, so y'all need to keep that in note, right?
Yes.
And so it can show up at any time. Does it have to be right after, or?
Not necessarily.
Wow.
No, it doesn't have to be right after. It can happen throughout the 1st year. It doesn't happen. It may not happen immediately, right?
Wow.
So that's something to be mindful of. And like I said, with education, you learn these things. And it's just important that we support and educate. If you know a new mom, if you're watching this, she might not recognize it because you're going through so many changes. So as a community, everyone needs to be educated. Men, women, if you plan on having children, don't plan on having children. Just as a community, we all need to know so you can recognize it in your family members, your friends, maybe a co-worker, whomever, just to be able to offer support and resources.
Absolutely. So tell them, when you sort of realized that you were dealing with this, what kinds of things did you do to address it and then to sort of move beyond it? Or have you moved beyond it?
Yes.
That's real talk, right? That's real talk.
Yes, because mine's lasted more than a year.
Now let me say something. Let me say this. So let me give y'all some background real quick. Me and Akua have been knowing each other since college. So we're talking our relationship spans over 25 years, right? She's been in Atlanta, she's been in Florida, New York, just all these different places pursuing her dreams. And we had children, well, I had a child, and then later on, we actually realized that we were having a child, like having children at the same time, all right? And actually, our children are about 2 weeks apart, right? So it was an opportunity for us to really just sort of pour back into each other and share, because all of our friends,
they kids
in college. And here we are, these old ladies, not really, right? Trying to start this thing up. So we both have 3-year-olds. So she calling me, asking me, girl, how you? And I'm like, girl, this is what you do. And I'm asking her, girl, this is what you need. So that was critical, having that support system.
Yes.
But then the question is, you know, is postpartum depression gone? Does it ever sort of go away? And sort of what kinds of things did you do to address it?
Okay, so let's see. So when I had my daughter, I was in New York, and I stayed home with her for a year. You know, isolation was not good. Isolation, I'll say it again. Isolation is
yes, I remember
good.
that.
I was isolated. My husband was at work all day. It's New York. Everybody has 2 and 3 jobs. Nobody has time to be sick up in your face all day. That's just the reality of what it is like there. So because I knew, I would just do positive self-talk. I would tell myself, you know what this is. This is it's gonna go away. It's only a matter of time. Like I would just tell myself, this is, you know, the thoughts that you're having, you know, they're not real. You know, because I had thoughts of harming her. I had thoughts of harming herself, harming her, harming myself. I had, you know, I was just on the couch. Like, I couldn't go outside. A friend of mine, she called me she's like, you have to go outside every day. But I'm like, I live on the 3rd floor. I can strap a baby on, walk down 3 flights of steps. It just seemed like such a daunting task. So that's one of the things. Regular daily activities seem so monumental. It's so hard to do them. Just to take a shower, just to eat, you know, just to go outside. It just seemed like it was like bricks on top of me. I just could not get up and do it. And when the point when I realized, okay, I have to get out of here, is when I started having the thoughts of something's always going to happen to her, and I felt like I was like having thoughts of hurting her, hurting myself. That's when I was like, okay. So I came to Atlanta and stayed with my mom for a month because she was retired and she could help and take care of me. And my cousin Ebony, shout out, was living in the basement. So she was helping.
Big ups to Ebony, who's part of our studio audience today.
Who's actually watching up here right now.
There you go. I love it. Yes.
You has always helped me with my daughter. Thank you. I love you.
Yes.
And so that's when it started to lift.
Yes.
Even though I'm a clinician, things that I know to tell other people, I was depressed. It just didn't.
Isn't that something? You know,
they didn't just automatically kick in like how you say when you're riding a bike and you haven't ridden it for a long time. No, it wasn't that tight. It did not just kick in for me to do those things. I was just so not enough sleep, but I couldn't sleep because I was so worried that she was going to stop breathing. So that anxiety of always waking up and looking at your child because you think something's going to happen to her. What else? And then you go through the guilt. Then there's a guilt period of I wanted this kid. I waited all this time.
And now this time I'm acting.
And then it's like, and you're even more depressed because you're like, it's unfair. Like, okay, Creator gifted me this beautiful kid, and now I'm missing out on this wonderful time. She's never going to be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months again because I'm depressed. And so it was just a array of emotions. It was just like.
And I'm trying to think, like when I had Kwaku, my son, he's 3. I'm so used to moving all the time. And so my husband was like, no, you don't stay home. Because I think that's best for you and just that bonding period. Mind you, I didn't have that experience with my first child. I was right to work, after 6 weeks, right? And so I was home for 8 months. which was a blessing, right? But then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to do something, you know? And so I don't know if there's sort of an anxiousness or a depression in that, because sometimes I felt like I was like, well, you know, I want to go back to work.
It's a mourning. It's a loss of your identity.
Yeah,
it's a loss
I'm ready to go back. And it's like,
your way of life.
You know, that when those 8 months was up, I was like, yes, you know. Not that I
know
wanted
what
someone
saying.
else to help me with my child in that sense, but I just wanted to do the things that I wanted to do. And, you know, sometimes they conflict a little bit. So it's really about finding balance in your life once you have this new being in your life. Right?
I would say a good transition, because I stayed home for a year, would have been to work part-time. My job didn't offer part-time.
Gotcha.
Probably by 6-7 months, I needed to do something.
Right.
Like I said, trying to get out and do the mommy and me yoga. I did that. Yeah. Then it was like all these obstacles. Ultimate Side Street Run in New York. I'm not going. It was, you know, it's always a reason.
It's all something.
To like forget it. I'm just not doing it.
Yes.
But I will say, getting involved in a support group, a mommy and me club activity, postpartum support group, something where you're with other mothers and just a shared experience. Because of course we know a bunch of people who have children, but you know, as time goes on, your kids 11, 12, you may somewhat remember, but it's not so fresh in your body like it is for us who were just going through it at that time. Right. So talking to other people who can really relate or identify with, like, girl, it's okay. And then you normalize it, you know. I remember I called my cousin. I was like, I can't get in the shower. I haven't taken a shower. She was like, you're reaching too high. Bird bath. I was like, really? She was like, yes. But I didn't know. She was like, no.
She said bird bath. I love it.
You just got to bird bath.
Just do what you got to do. Just baby steps.
You got to bird bath it until you can get to the point where I was like, okay. And it made just something that made sense. That made me feel like I wasn't a failure.
Yes. But I'll tell you what, the other thing is, big up to Vanya Francis, who is Vanya, we love you so much. Vanya. Yeah, we love Vanya. Vanya.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Vanya is now a certified doula, and she also really works with mamas. She does prenatal yoga classes.
Yes.
And so that was my saving grace during pregnancy and after, right? Doing these yoga classes. And I looked forward to Saturday at 10 o'clock. I was like, yes. And then I could bring the baby. You know, he's sleeping, he's chilling, and then we had opportunities to talk about our birth stories and just share, because all those mamas were just sort of delivering right around the same time. So you're right, community is super important. That was important for me.
Yeah, shout out to Vanya. I crashed her postpartum yoga class about 3 months ago. Clearly my child is 3, but I just love her teaching that I was like,
oh my gosh.
Can I come?
I know.
She was like,
of course, yes, you can.
And it was just so gentle. I was like, so it's like all these things now I know that I didn't know to do then. But it's like I said, it's about education. And now I can help somebody else and share with somebody else, you know, the things that I didn't do in hopes that, you know, provide some insight onto don't do what I do. Not doing that.
So what we're going to do, we're going to talk a little bit about the workshops that you have coming up. What I want to do is I want to jump into some of the plant-based foods that mamas can eat while pregnant, and then also after pregnancy, to really just keep them strong, full of vitality. And we're going to do a simple dish. So Akua sent me this list for mental wellness, and I'll share the list in the post. But the list has different tree nuts, different cruciferous vegetables, different fruits, things that mamas can have in their repertoire as they're moving in the space of being pregnant to being postpartum. And so what I did was I took that list and I just created, since it's fall, I'm all about seasonal eating, I took some items from that list and I said, let's make something from that list that is something simple, delicious, and I think also another issue with postpartum depression is really making sure that you eat the right foods.
Yes, mood foods. Foods that helps give you energy, stimulate your brain, omega-3s, all those, because you know, you're doing so many things, so many tasks, so you have a little lack of clarity and focus.
Right.
So those things that will help give you focus and clarity and keep you strong.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the dish that we are going to prepare today kind of encompasses all of those things. I think it's a mood food in that it's very warming, it's very comforting. We have some of the omegas from the nuts. So I want to tell you, it's my version of a Caesar salad.
Okay.
All right, it's my version of a Caesar salad, but my husband's like, you know what, you need to just change that name. So I haven't figured out what the name is. So we're gonna call it a fall warming green salad.
Okay.
That's what we're calling it for right now. And so this fall warming green salad, basically the base of it is kale, which is a cruciferous vegetable. It's loaded with vitamins and minerals, and it's also brain food, it's blood food, it has iron, it has vitamin K, it just has all this, it's just rich in nutrients. So we have basically some organic kale, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make a dressing. Our dressing is the quote-unquote dressing. We're not going to call it the Caesar dressing, but it's a creamy dressing, and it's going to be made with walnuts. And then also we have some sweet potatoes. That was also on the list. I roasted these off this morning, and I roasted it with a little bit of avocado oil and some fresh garlic. So that's good. Oh my gosh, this is
Yeah, I'm like,
good.
I want to.
It's so delicious. The other thing that's in this salad is onions. All right. So what we did was we just sauteed up some onions, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the onions to the salad in a second. But I want to show you how to make this dressing. All right. All right. So I have my NutriBullet here. Let me actually connect it up. Do you like salads? Do you like?
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's your favorite salad? This is gonna be this one after this.
Right, it's this one. It's the Caesar-ish.
It's a Caesar-ish salad?
Caesar-ish salad. That's my favorite salad.
All right, so we have walnuts, all right? So that was on the list. Again, I'm really trying to honor the list, right, for mental wellness. And then I also have, where's my water? I have some alkaline water, all right? It's really important to, this is electric water, all right? It's ionized, it's charged.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Can I just say something about the alkaline
Go ahead,
water?
yes.
Oh my gosh. Breastfeeding, you get so dehydrated.
Yes.
And the alkaline water, yes, that saved my life. That and coconut water.
Actually, let me do this. Let me just put on
Yeah,
some.
so important.
So coconut water, right, because it has electrolytes, right?
Right. And even if you're not breastfeeding, your body is still trying to regulate itself. You're not sleeping as much at all, right? You're getting 2 or 3, you know, while the baby's a newborn, 2-3 hours of sleep at best, right?
Yeah.
So to help with that fatigue, it's really important to stay hydrated.
All right, so we also have here some minced garlic. All right, so you smell that? Right? You have some minced garlic there. And then I also think this is important. I mean, you want to be mindful as a nursing mom not to put too much pepper because it definitely comes through in the breast milk, right? But we're going to add up a little heat in here. It's okay. Right? That's a little bit of heat. And then we also have a little bit of Himalayan salt. This is sort of my go-to salt, all right? This has, it's a mineralized salt, all right? And we're also gonna add some acid to this mix as well. This is some lemon juice. I'm gonna do like maybe two tablespoons of this, all right? We're also gonna add in some balsamic vinegar.
Yes.
You like balsamic vinegar?
That's pretty much all I use for my salads.
And actually this is really nice because it doesn't have sodium. I'm really big on no sodium, right? So no sodium, but it gives you a lot of flavor. And then I'm also gonna add in here some nutritional yeast. Now I like nutritional yeast. I know that there are some people who are a little bit sensitive to this. Are you sensitive?
No, I love nutrition. I put on my popcorn.
Ooh, yes.
Instead of putting a whole bunch of butter and stuff, I just put nutritional yeast. That's it.
Now, for those people out there that are sensitive to nutritional yeast, another version of this is to use mustard. You can use some like Dijon mustard, or you can add both, right? Because it's gonna give it that nice tangy flavor, right?
Okay.
All right. So we have the nutritional yeast, we have the balsamic vinegar. I'm not gonna add any oil because the nuts produce its own oil. So you know we're being mindful of that, right? And then the other thing I'm gonna add in here, you know what these are? Dates.
Ah.
Yes. So what we're gonna do with the dates, right? We're basically going to pit it, right? And you just take the pit out, right? They have this hard seed in it,
Yeah.
right? But I soak them so that they can get soft. Sometimes they can be a little tough. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna pit it, like so. And it's gonna give it a nice sweetness, right? Like this. And then what we're gonna do is just whisk this all together, okay? Easy. All right, so the other thing is for mamas, I think it's really important. You wanna make sure you get a lot of greens, a lot of raw greens, all right?
Yes.
A lot of spinach, a lot of kale, collards, cabbage, right? Chards.
Yeah.
These were all things that were on the list. And you want to do some cook, but then you also, and you want to be mindful because I know some mamas are sensitive with the breast milk. It produces gas if they do raw. So you want to really just alternate. You want to make sure that you have a nice blend of cooked and raw food, right? Because you want to make sure that you're getting those enzymes and all those nutrients. All right, so here we are. This is our dressing. Yummy, yummy. Isn't that good? You have one of these? Girl, this thing right here saves my life. All right, we're gonna taste this. Look at that. Look how nice that is. All right, let's taste. All right, it needs a little bit more. It needs a little bit more lemon juice. Let's put some in there. Give me a shot.
I didn't want to mess it up. I was
There
like,
you go.
Nope.
I want that twang.
I'll just pass it to you.
All right, we're gonna just whisk it one more time. It's good though. And I also notice like whenever I do like dressings, I let them sit a little bit, like overnight or even a couple days later. And then, I mean, it just really tastes super good. Flavor marinade. You smell it. You can also do fresh garlic. All right, so what we're gonna do is just pour some in, like this, right? And then I'm gonna do this. I want you to put some love in these. We're gonna massage, right? We're gonna massage the dressing in, all right? And then as you massage, we're gonna add the other pieces in. So the other thing, while Akua is doing that, we also want to talk about some essential oils that are really, really good for mamas, for a variety of purposes during pregnancy and then also postpartum. So I think it's really important to have a blend that helps to uplift your spirits. And so one really beautiful blend is frankincense. Frankincense, are you familiar with frankincense?
Yes. Thanks to you.
Yes, frankincense. Frankincense is a spiritual essential oil. And it just, I think, when you're going through whatever you're going through, it's important to pray and to talk to your ancestors and just talk to all of the people who are supporting you. Just you sort of say your affirmations. And frankincense is an awesome essential oil to do that with. I actually ran out of frankincense because I will show you guys what the bottle looks like, but that's okay. You guys, I'm sure many of you have heard of frankincense. Another one. Ooh, that looks really good.
I want to eat it right now.
All right, keep massaging, keep massaging. All right, so we're gonna make a list of these for you guys too, and we'll put them in the thread. All right, so we're gonna add in the onions now, right? And these are like caramelized onions, and you're gonna massage in, keep massaging in, right? Okay, so that's one. And then we're also gonna add in our sweet potatoes. All right?
I don't want these to get too mushy.
Yeah, so you're gonna just like fold in. And then I'm gonna do this. Just add a little bit more garlic. Right? And I do know like fresh garlic is different than minced garlic, so some people are sensitive, but fresh garlic may give some folks a little bit more sensitivity than the mixed garlic. All right, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna try it.
Oh.
Yeah, girl. All right.
Take my gloves off.
You can take your gloves off. Yep. We're done with that. We're done with that. So that is our fall warming kale salad. How easy was that to make? All right.
That was pretty simple.
And literally, I just cut up I didn't put anything but a little fresh garlic, or dried garlic.
Yeah.
I see her. All right, I basically roasted this off with some avocado oil, just a little bit. What else did I put on here? I put a little bit of minced garlic, and then that was it. I didn't add any salt or anything. Let's get you some more sweet potato. Okay. All right, so you're gonna eat this with a spoon.
Look, I can do it with my
Tell me what you think. Isn't that pretty?
It really is.
Oh my God, look at that. Yum. All right. Tell me what you think. It's got a little kick. Is it okay?
Yes. It's a salad dish.
It's right? Well, we're not calling it season.
I know. I'm just saying.
We gotta come up Quaku salad or something. I don't know. We'll come up with it.
I mean, I wouldn't know that. I mean, it's amazing. This is amazing.
Really nice.
God, I can do this.
You can change out the sweet potatoes for acorn squash, any sort of roasted vegetable. Another one of my favorites that was on that list was Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts, cauliflower.
Yes.
You can roast all of those off and you can just marinate it.
I'm gonna eat this off camera because I really want to bust this down, but I'm not gonna be on video.
So we good.
Busting down the salad.
All right. So the other thing that we have here, and I can actually give you guys this list here. So this is Pregnancy and Beyond. This is basically, I came up with this. Another big up to another wonderful woman that I work with. Her name is Jifa Richards. And she, so she and I have done some activities with mamas around wellness during pregnancy and then postpartum. And so one of the essential oils, actually we were looking at, what was it? Oh, increasing milk production. So geranium, fennel, basil, and clary sage. Those are some really good essential oils that you can use if you're really trying to increase the milk production. And basically what you would do is you would apply it on the outer rings of the breast and it will help, all right? Oils to stay away from when you're not trying to increase milk production, like peppermint essential oils, all right? You also mentioned we had geranium. Geranium, this is what we're looking at. So this is, if you don't have all of them, that's fine, but this is one of them. Let's smell this one. And people love geranium. Do you know about geranium? Yeah.
It just,
it's like, it's hard to describe, right?
It just does something inside and mentally as well.
Yes.
I can feel it here and in my head.
And then just for mood, because when we're talking about postpartum depression, this is an uplifting blend. It's called Cheer. All right, you guys know. Cheer. I'll give you some of this. And many of you know that I use doTERRA essential oils. And those essential oils are pure and potent. All you need is one drop. So they basically have an emotional essential oil line so that folks who are dealing with a variety of emotional challenges, they have these essential oils that they can rely on. You like that one? That's nice, right? And then another one I would say, the encouraging blend. We're gonna get through this. This is just for the time being, long term, right? So this is called Motivate. Yes. So if you're trying to get to that yoga class or you're trying to get to that Bobby and Bee class and you don't have the headspace for it, you can use the encouraging blends to help you get your clothes on and get out the house. Try that one. There you go. Yeah. So these are some people. A lot of these oils here, they have citruses and like citrus oils basically help to uplift the mood. So even if you don't have any of these, you can use citrus oils like orange, right? You can use lemon. You can use lemon. Oh my gosh, right? What's another really beautiful oil that's citrus? Lime essential oil. A beautiful oil that is amazing that just helps to wake up your spirit. So I would say that if you have an arsenal of oils that you can go to just in your meditation practice, and then just to just keep you happy. When you're feeling like you're shifting into a mood. I think you break out your oils and you take a moment, you do breath work, you inhale the oils, and it can just help you to snap out of it. I actually wanted to share this particular oil with you because it just made me think about one of the things that mamas deal with when they're postpartum is feeling pretty, right?
Yes.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
And this particular, this is like a limited edition oil, but you can make it. It has lime. That's like one of the big things in it. Lime, and I believe there's lime in here. There's bergamot and frankincense. I knew it. There was frankincense in here. So I want you to smell this. This is such a beautiful. It makes me feel beautiful.
It does. I was gonna say.
It makes me.
It's feels light and pretty.
It's like it just makes you feel beautiful.
Yeah.
So
really does.
that's what it's called. It's called beautiful, and it's also called the captivating blend.
Yeah.
Right. So I think mamas, when they're going through that time period after they transition from being with child and then postpartum, your body is trying to regulate itself. You just don't look the way you may want to look, and so you really want to think about what you can use to make you feel pretty.
Right.
This makes me feel pretty.
Because you instantly shift from you're the pregnant one, it's all about you, and then everybody's like, oh, well, how's the baby? And then I was like, are you gonna ask me how I'm doing? Like, my hair looks like sticking this way and this way.
They ain't caring about you, girl.
I have on the same clothes I had on last week, but
they don't care about you right now.
So it's like, so you go to going back to what we were saying, some of the symptoms. You go the loss of identity and the life that you used to have. Now it's a transition and finding who you are as this baby's mom, but also an individual, and this is so not like,
isn't it?
And then you can smell your wrist.
Yeah, just
and center yourself again.
Yes,
right?
It is
so,
beautiful.
Speaking of like the affirmations, I remember my father-in-law used to tell me this when I was pregnant. I was embarrassed, and I was like, oh. He's like, it's a moment in time. It's a moment in time.
I love
and
that.
I always remembered that.
That's a beautiful affirmation.
And so I have all of these affirmations that get me through my pregnancy, but once the baby came, the things, like I said, the things I knew to do, I didn't do.
Yes.
I just didn't have the strength to do it. But coming up with some affirmations, posting them, in your mirror, in your bedroom, as soon as you wake up, it's the first thing you see. And like you said, having your oils by you, because you have to have them.
You have to have your tools, y'all.
Visual. So,
need them tools.
Yeah, so it's just right there, and then you jump into, your day. But having those things, the small things, it doesn't have to be. You can't even get out the house for a yoga class. Take a walk. Just take a walk in the neighborhood.
Yep.
And just to get outside and see some people and fresh air, it does lift your mood.
Oh, yeah.
See, somebody walking their dog, just nature. You
the light.
Look at what you see, what you hear, what you can feel, what you can taste. Those things bring you back. Your five senses, they bring you back to yourself and help you feel grounded.
So the other thing that I wanted to share with folks, and actually I'm going to get some of those cups over here. You grab me some of those cups. Last night at our sweat, we actually had some sorrel, all right? And sorrel is just a powerful drink. If you don't know about sorrel, it's a hibiscus. It comes from a flower that's a hibiscus flower. And the way we dry it and brew it, we brew it with cinnamon and clove and all these amazing spices, ginger. And oftentimes we drink it cold, but it's also an amazing tea, right? And the tea is loaded with vitamin C, and it's really good for blood pressure and just regulating the body. So we actually had some for our guests last night, and I was like, let me just bring some for Tamara. All right.
I think I had about 3 cups of this last night.
Yes, it's so good. And really, I think, postpartum, super good. Now, we added a little bit of, there's some sweetener in here. There's I think we put honey in there. But you don't have to put anything in there. You can keep it just, as is after it's brewed. All right? But if you want a little sweetness, you can totally add that as well. Super, super good. I gotta get me some. Oh, that's for me? Okay, good. And so we had the sorrel. So I would say drinking a lot of teas also postpartum is very helpful. Because there's a wide variety of flavors that really just help to uplift your mood too.
Yeah, and just, making a big pot and then, steep it and then put it in a big pitcher and keep it in the refrigerator. So you're not doing, what I found, like being organized, of course, is key, but just how to cut down on time, making big portions of everything.
That's right.
Freezing it, or like I said, the juice or the sorrel, and putting it in the freezer or the refrigerator, because I freeze my sorrel and pull it out as needed, because I make so much of it.
Yeah. Now, I was going to also say, another tip for mamas with postpartum is to really ease up on the different tasks that they normally do. So sometimes you got to outsource things for a while just so that you can get your mind right, get your body right, get your life right. And that includes eating, a meal service. So I was fortunate when I was having my second child that my community rallied behind me and said, you know what, we're going to take care of you for like a month. I think I had meal delivery service. Sister Giovanna, Mighty Foods, and she delivered food to us every week. So I didn't really have to worry about cooking. Now, I wish it was longer than that, but a month of not cooking, and it was healthy food.
Right.
It was mommy meals, foods that's going to help with milk production, foods that's going to help with you bouncing back. All right, not junk food, y'all.
Right.
Not McDonald's, not Chick-fil-A. We're talking about whole foods, healthy grains. That's another thing that was on that list.
Right.
Whole grains, barleys, brown rice, the quinoas of the world, rye, all of these things, super, super good for the body. Lentils, black beans, black eyed peas, kidney beans, all of these things. So she really focuses on basically giving mommies really good meals postpartum. Her business is called My Two Foods. We'll drop all of this information in the comments section. And so we need to make sure that we have community.
Yes.
Right? We need to have what did you just say? What were the words?
Just about being organized?
No, not organized. Affirmations.
Oh, right.
Right? You need to have community,
So
your affirmations.
Your mental health.
Yes.
You have your mental health.
Yes.
And talking about it.
Yes.
Tell people.
So community.
Tell your partner.
Yes.
Tell your
Yes.
friends.
Tell
Tell
your
someone
people.
you trust. Tell somebody. Don't just keep it to yourself. Tell someone, because another thing my father always says, a closed mouth can't get fed, right?
Yeah.
So you have to tell people what you're experiencing so that they can help you. And sometimes they may not know how to help you, but you can say, I need somebody to cook for me.
Yes.
Simple as that. I need somebody to cook for me. This is what I eat, this is what I can't eat, I mean, I read somewhere, like, while you're pregnant, it would be ideal to have that set up beforehand, but, life isn't perfect. So as you go through it and you realize, okay, this is overwhelming, I can't deal with all of this, put some people in place to help you. Like you said, a meal service. I didn't even know when I spoke to you and you told me, I was like, what? It's like, I didn't even know that existed.
Yes.
So that's fabulous. A meal service, right? Don't worry about the laundry. Don't worry about the dishes. It's not that. It really isn't. It's not that important.
But then you know what? I also have people come to the house to visit, and they're like, "Can I help you with anything?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Yes.
Can you fold some clothes?
Right.
So, and they were willing to do that, not being too proud to accept help.
Yes.
That's the other thing that
Outsource it. If there's a laundry service in your area, send the clothes out. I mean, it's only for a short period of time. If you are that type of person that really wants to do laundry and stuff, I get that, but you need some sleep.
Yeah, you need some sleep.
So anything that you can outsource to help you get some sleep and take care of yourself, do it.
Yes.
It's really, really important. The other thing we talked about was getting plenty of rest.
Yes.
And cook food, so we covered that.
Healthy
and
food.
then, if you feel or you realize that this is lasting, longer than baby blues, get professional help. Call your GYN, call your OB, call them and let them know, I'm crying all the time, or whatever your symptoms are. Let them know so they can maybe refer you to a mental health professional. You can go to therapy, or you can join a support group. It's really, really important that you talk about these feelings and know that you're not alone, that it's more common than not. And, we have pride and we might be embarrassed, but don't be. It's natural. If you weren't supposed to have those feelings, you wouldn't. So it's your body listen to your body. Your body is informing you of something. So listen and honor it, and it's okay. Like, just know that you are okay.
So that leads us into your workshop. So tell them how people can get support from you.
Okay.
What you
So
do.
my business page is Tamara Akua Hunter on Facebook. and TamaraAkuaHunter.com. Akua is spelled A-K-U-A. Tamara Akua Hunter.
We'll drop that in the comments.
And we'll put it in the comments as well. And I'm launching a postpartum support group for Black moms. So if you are a mom who needs support and wants to be a part of a Facebook community, please go to the site. Just go ahead and sign up. If you know somebody who needs support, do that as well. It's just really important that we're mirrored and we share our experiences, and you never know how you can help somebody by sharing what you're going through and how somebody else can.
That's
pour
where the
into
healing
you.
is happening, right? By hearing other people's stories, like, wait a minute, I think that was just me.
Right.
That's not just me.
Right.
And it just really helps, and it just opens up the space for you.
We see these images of like, oh, you can have it all, you can do everything, and okay, you can, but and time, and at what cost? So sometimes it makes us feel like, I'm not doing enough, or I should be doing more, or how come this is, I felt like why is this, like, why am I not able to get it together? Like, I should, all the shoulds and the judgments, but we want to provide a safe space to release those judgments and just meet you where you are and just support you where you are so you can get to the next step where you want to be.
Beautiful. All right, so you want to share with them anything else? Any last minute thoughts about anything?
Last minute thoughts are, if you are watching this and you do feel like you're having a mental health crisis, always call 911, go to your nearest emergency room. You can call the Georgia Mental Health Crisis. If you're in Georgia or wherever the mental health crisis is in your state, wherever you are, where you're watching from. I'm just so honored to be here and talking about this. Thank you, Tasha. It's something I'm really passionate about.
Oh yeah, she is.
And I'm just really.
But let me say this. Say this. We've been knowing each other since we were like little pumpkins, like little teenagers.
17, 18
and I'm telling you, it's just so wonderful to see all of my sister friends, my girls, my hearts, grow up, and they're in their own spaces and they're doing the work that they're really loving, right? And many of us are doing work around wellness. It might look different aspects of wellness, but we're all doing our work within wellness. And mental wellness is one of the areas that we don't talk about as much as we need to, but it's critical in our community, period. I live in Atlanta, and y'all, you see some stuff. So mental wellness, make sure that you're not just taking care of this body, but you're taking care of this body as well. All right? So we're going to actually drop all that information. We gave y'all a ton of stuff, all right, today. But we're going to put all of that information in the comments. Tamara Akua Hunter, we're going to actually put that information, her website. And then if there's any kind of workshops that are coming up, just let me know and we'll share it with everybody as well. We'll just add that as well. And then for me, you guys know, the book is coming. It's coming. October 10th is when it gets shipped to me. So you guys should have it. I should have it in hand. I'm going to show y'all. Sometime, I think it's October 13th. The book launch party is going to be here at Ewe Fresh, October 19th from 8 to 10:30. Oh my gosh, we hired. Oh my gosh. So if you want to know more about that, you can go to chefbeee.com. You can subscribe to the mailing list. I got a whole bunch of stuff there. We have the cooking shows there. We also have plant-based meals to go if you're interested in signing up for a meal service. 3-day, 5-day, 7-day plan, along with a host of other goodies. We have information about essential oils, you name it, and also wonderful recipes. So we'll actually put this recipe up there. I think that'll be really nice for mamas.
Yes.
All right, y'all. It is Sunday, September 30th. This is the last day to get your reduced price copy of The Plants Nourish You. After today, the price goes up. So make sure you get your copy, all right? And I love you all. Mamas out there, remember, take care of your wellness, take care of your mental health. It's going to be okay. We love you. And make sure that you find your community, all right, that's going to support you. And that community could be one other person. It doesn't have to be all these people. Just one other person that's going to support you. All right? So be well. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.